Hey you all, also hi to fellow dressmakers. You're welcome to another interesting tutorial. My name is Confidence. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a simple palazzo pant, the one that fits so well, just like this one on your screen. I'll also be showing you in this video how to go about getting the crease line on your pant, just like this. And I know you are interested in learning something like this. Kindly watch this video to the very end and let's get right into the tutorial proper. You will need a fabric of about 2 yards for this tutorial, and here I have my satin fabric which I have not up to 2 yards, but for a small person like me, 1.5 can even give you a simple palazzo pant. I'm going to fold it, and to fold your pant you're going to hold the two original mouth this way, the two selvage from the other end to the other end. You hold it together this way, arrange it proper. I'm going to do that to show you what it looks like. So by the time you're done arranging it, you should have something like this. So you have the two selvage this way, and you know that most fabric stretches lengthwise. This way, the stretchy part of your fabric will be going to the side. Okay, that's what you want, right? Now, I'm going to simply get a straight line at the upper part this way, and that will serve as a top line or starting point line. Then I'll also be marking out like 1 inch here, because later on after marking out the pants I'll be adding ½ inch stitching allowance. The next thing I'll be doing now is to minus 1.5 for my band. If you've watched my other pants tutorial, you know I don't do this. I don't minus anything. But today I want the band to sit exactly on my natural waistline and not the band to start on the natural waistline up. I hope you understand. So I'm going to minus the 1.5, then I'm going to divide my hip measurement by 4 plus extra 1 inch. You can add 2 inches depending on how much ease you want it to be on the crotch area. And then you can also divide your hip measurement by 3 and not add any allowance to it. Just your hip measurement by 3, then you're going to minus the 1 inch or 1.5 or 2 inches for the band and mark down the value you got from dividing your hip by 3, or your hip measurement divided by 4 plus extra 1 inch or 2 inches. I hope that is clear. I will minus the 1.5 again and go down to my knee line, and you see me labeling it knee, and this will be the crotch line. Okay, the next thing I will do now is to also minus the 1.5 and come down to my hip line, and I'm using 9 inches. After marking it, I'm going to connect it this way, even though we don't need this hip line, but let's have it there. On the waistline, I'm going to mark the hip measurement divided by 4. I'll go to the crotch line and mark the same thing and connect the 2 points together. After that, on the crotch line, you can decide to impute your thigh measurement divided by 2 plus ½ inch for ease. Like my thigh is actually 22, I'm going to mark 11 inches, which is 22 divided by 2 is 11 plus extra ½ inch for ease. Or better still, you divide your hip measurement by 20. If I divide my hip by 20, it's going to give me 1.9, which is basically the 2 inches I have here. It's just the same thing. Either you impute your thigh measurement divided by 2, or you divide the hip by 20. But remember, it's the largest part of your thigh. That's where you measure. Okay. Then on the crotch depth, I went in by 1 inch and used that to curve it this way. On the waistline, I'm going to come in ½ inch and then connect it going to the curve I have on the crotch, just like this. This is totally optional. You can decide to skip this part. I will now start from that line and take my waist measurement divided by 4. If you'll be adding that, do well to mark in your dart. You mark your bust span, mark the length of the dart, which is usually between 3 to 5 inches. Then you're going to mark ½ inch on both sides and connect it this way, or 0.75 on both sides. Then you're going to add the dart allowance after marking your waist measurement divided by 4. I hope that is clear. I'm going to connect this way from the waist measurement to the crotch this way. You don't need to input your hip measurement, it's already there. Now I'm going to divide whatever I have on the crotch line and divide it into 2, and that would be the center part of this pant. I'm going to take that measurement down and use a straight glue to connect it, and that will be the center part of this pant. That's where we'll be taking the knee measurement and the ankle measurement. Now on the knee line, I'm going to divide my hip measurement by 4. And when I do that, it's 9.5. I'm going to divide the 9.5 into 2, and that would give me 4.75. I'm going to mark the 4.75 on both sides of this line. I'll place 4.75 on the midpoint line, mark it on the other end, then I'll mark the 9.5 on this end. Okay, whichever way you want to have your 4.75 on both sides of the center line, do where to do that. Then after that, you can decide to add ½ inch on both sides, right? That's if you want your pants wider, but this works just fine for me. I'm going to use my curve to connect it this way. Then I'll use the straight glue to connect it from the knee down on both sides, just like this. And when I'm done, this is what it looks like on the down part. I'm simply going to cut it out. Just watch how I'm going to cut it out. You already see the hemming allowance I have on the down part. I'm simply going to be adding ½ inch stitching allowance all around the markings I have for the pant. Then on the center front, I'm going to go down by ½ inch. Then I'll come up 0.25 on the side. That's because I don't just want the waistband to sit straight on the waist. I want it to like be a little curvy on the waistline. So you can do ½ inch on the center front, or 0.75, or 1 inch. Then you do 0.25 on the side, or ½ inch on the side, and connect it. That way the waistband is really rounded on the waist. Okay, so now for the back, I will place the front pattern on the space I have for the back. I don't have to fold the fabric again. You can see that it's just as we folded it before. Now that's the essence of folding your fabric that way. Okay, then make sure you have a space at the upper part and also on the crotch extension. I'm going to mark out the line I have on the center front of the front. Yeah, center front of the front pattern. Then I'm going to come in 2 inches just this way. This is just to create enough space for the butt and also to make the pant sit flat on the center back. I hope that is clear. Then I'm going to, on the crotch depth, I'm going to do 1.5. If you have a bigger butt, you can do 2 inches or 2.5 to create more space for your butt. Then I'm going to just connect it going to that 2 inches. Then what you see me doing here is nothing out of ordinary. Had it been this is a pattern paper, we'd understand it clearly, but I would skip it because it will kind of confuse you. Just follow this step you see me do here. You come in 1 inch on the center waist, yeah, center back, and then I did 1.5 on the crotch depth. Then for the crotch extension, I'm going to measure exactly what I have on the crotch extension of the front. I'll mark it. Then on the knee, I'll minus ½ inch from what I have on the crotch extension and mark it on the knee all the way to the down. Then I'm going to place my curve this way and connect it from the crotch extension to the knee part. Then you're going to replace that 2 inches you came in on the center back, and then at this point make sure you have your hip measurement and even extra if need be. And I have exactly what I was supposed to have here. I'm going to place my curve this way, connect from the waist to the hip, and then blend in from the hip to the knee, just this way. Make sure you do not have any sharp points or two curved lines. Okay, then I'm going to extend the center back by 1 inch. You can do 1.25, you can also do 1.5, but anything more than 1.5 is likely to be pointy at the center back, and you don't want that, right? So I'm going to connect it from the center back all the way to the side this way, making sure it's aligning with what I have on the side, yeah, on the side of the front pattern, and that's it. I would go ahead and cut it out. Okay, if you want, you can simply go ahead and like highlight the line with your chalk so that you know where to cut. I already added the stitching allowance on the front pattern, so I'm going to follow what I have there and cut it, except on the crotch area where we extended, and also on this inseam part. It's very simple. Just watch how and where I'm going to cut and where I would need to add stitching allowance on the back pattern. Body on jet, I throw them more, you pepper them. To my tooth, causing go bed. So this is what the front and back looks like after cutting it out. You can see the way the crotch area is looking for both the back and then the front. We are simply going to start joining, but I'm going to use the leftover fabric I have to cut the band, then put my A stay and then keep it aside. And for the front part, I'm going to join it following the allowance I have on the front crotch area. I'll do the same thing for the back. My zip is going to be on the side, so there is no zipper allowance on the back or anything. I'll join it, and after joining, I pressed it. I pressed open the seam, and this is what it's looking like. This is the front part, and this is the back pattern. Can you see? I pressed open the seam. Then I'm going to spread it on the right side this way. Then take the front pattern and place it right side facing right side. Arrange it properly. If you have to pin it down, please do well to do that. But I'm going to follow the allowance I have on the side and join it on both sides. And after that, this is what I have. Can you see that? So I left a space on the side for my zipper, and when I wear it, the zipper is going to be on my right hand side. You're going to choose where you want your zipper to be. Since it's not going to be on the center front or center back, you decide which side you want it to be. So now I'm going to go to my ironing table and press open the seam, and while I'm at it, I'm also going to fold the hem of the pant. I'm going to hem the pant because you will agree with me that hemming the pant is not a hard work, but it's something we tailors don't look forward to. So recently I started doing it this way, and with this method it's a whole lot easier for me. I can easily open up the hem and close in the inseam, which I'll still be showing you in this video. So after folding the down part of the pant with my allowance, I pressed it and not fully steamed it, because you can see that my hemming gum is still very much alive. So after I'm done with everything, I will now go ahead and steam it proper so that the hemming gum will melt how it's supposed to melt. Okay, but for now I'm going to join the inseam of the pant this way. Hold the stitching allowance you have here, like your stitching allowance there. Open it up and then make sure you align the stitches, and then you're going to join it from one end to the other. Please, on the down part, you're going to open it up. You're not going to fold it this way to join. Open that fold, that hem fold you have there. Open it up and join it, and then from one end to the other, just make sure that the joining on the crotch area of both front and back are aligning. Then you join it, and after that, this is what it looks like. So after joining, I also went ahead to iron it, and later on I'll be taking it to people that weave so they can weave it for me. Now we are going to fix the waistband, and since the zipper is on the side, that means the other side is automatically the center of this pant. Now that's what we'll be using as the center now for the waistband. I'm going to measure it, which is not even necessary. So after that, I'm going to take my band, which I already pressed in one layer of paper stay, then fold it on one end and then fold it into two, just the same way you do your band. Okay, I'm going to open it up this way, then trim off the excess allowance I have here. Just trim it off this way, then I'm going to fold it into two to get the midpoint. After getting the midpoint, I'll place the midpoint on the side seam, one of this, yeah, this closed part. I'm going to, that's where the center part of this band is going to go to. I pin it down, then go ahead and sew it all around, and after sewing it, this is what it looks like. The next thing I'll be showing you now is how to go about the closing of this band. So you're going to take in the allowance, the stitching allowance you used to join the band to the waist of the pant. You take it inward this way, then you're going to make the folded part of the band overlap it just like this. Then if you want, you can pin it down just to hold it in place so that you know what you're going for. You're going to go to your sewing machine and do what we call stitch in a ditch. So in between this seam line, just in between the middle of this seam line here, you're going to stitch. Just gently take your time and make sure that the joining allowance, the one you use to join the band to the waist, is going inward, and by the time you're done, you should have something like this on the wrong side, and on the right side something like this. Can you see? You can't even tell or see where the stitches are. That's the essence of doing it that way, and that's why it's called stitching a ditch. Now I'm going to hold the waist this way, then measure from one end to my waistline. On this part I'll mark it, so this marking now will be where I'll be fixing my zipper, and then I'll cut off this excess allowance I have here. I'll go ahead and fix my zipper on this opening here, and after that this is what it looks like. Can you see? Our pant is ready. We just have to create the crease line, and that's it. Can you see how the waistband joining are aligning? Such a neat work. So by the time I spread the pant, you can see that it came out so well, and the waistband, what we wanted to achieve on the waistband, you can see how rounded it is even without it being on the body. Okay, and the back is not too pointy. So what I'm going to do now to create the crease line, you're simply going to match up this joining, both the inseam joining and the side seam joining of the pant. You're going to match it and you will use your pin. Okay, there are different ways to achieve your crease line, but this is one of the ways. Maybe in my subsequent videos I'll be showing you other methods. Okay, but for this you're simply going to match up the seams, these joinings, like make sure they are facing each other. You pin it down, do the same thing on the other leg of the pant. Then you're going to go to your ironing table and press it very well. The way you will target is on the center front and then on the center back of the pant. Okay, by the time you're done you should have something like this. And if you want the crease line to be more appealing, like to be more visible, you're going to spray starch there, or better still, you press in with a hemming gum on that center part. Okay, you place in your hemming gum there and press it. By the time you're done, you kind of open up the part that you just iron with the hemming gum, so that the hemming gum will not hold much fabric. The work is just to make the crease line more pronounced, and one of the benefits is that anytime you iron your pants, it will help make the crease line more pronounced. And that's it. So like I say, this is one of the ways. In my other videos I'll be showing you other methods, but for now this will be the end of our tutorial today. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you on my next one. Be good. Bye.